Hi, parents, carers, children. Morning. I'm still here. I just thought I'd make a little video this morning just to be able to share with you some of the plans for next week, so that we can start to try and work together on the arrangements that are just around the corner. Lots of things to kind of mention, which I hopefully can get across today, which are really important. And that's why it would have been once again really difficult to put it in writing or to try and do it via text. So if you can just have a little listen to me, and I'll try and paint the picture. First of all, the thing to say really about the arrangements, I've spoken to lots of people, lots of other schools. I spent a good couple of weeks trying to work things out, talking to the senior leaders and Mrs. Mead, the deputy, and trying to make sure that we got the right plan of action moving forward, which is not easy to do because every single school is doing it differently. So what I will say is that I think that I've done it the right way for us and the safest way for us. So I will say right from the beginning that we are doing things in a way which puts safety first, where obviously there's lots of uncertainties. I can't give answers to those. There's always going to be lots of questions. So it's just best if we kind of err on the side of caution moving forward. And then if we need to be able to build up some capacity, get some more people in, then we can do. So please bear with me if you find that it's not quite the offer that you might have hoped for, because I don't think that we're in a position to just walk into school. And it's been made clear, really, in the media and on the news that that's not the expectation. That we can just go back into school and open the doors. So the idea is that we are going to have, for those children who are coming in, and the form's being done. So if you filled in the form, your child has a place from next week, and this will start from Tuesday next week. Monday, I'd like the staff just to be able to get in, get a little bit of a feel for things, and to get settled in the classroom. And then Tuesday, we would look to be able to get moving. So it will be two sessions each day, two separate sessions. So if you've so for the children who are coming, there will be a session in the morning which will be 2.5 hours, and then we're getting the cleaners into the classrooms, and those children will go home. And then in the afternoon there'll be a second session for the second group, and that will be 2.5 hours as well. Now, the reason why we've done it like that is that in some schools, I hear that there's 2 days in, 3 days out, 3 days in, 1 day at home. Quite a lot of schools are going for a week in full time and then a week out. The reason why I've done it this way is that I think it reduces the risk quite significantly to begin with. And it gets us a couple of weeks down the road, and then we can start to look at it again. But we have to say that it's better than what we have now. And in actual fact, the children may need a gradual return, particularly as we know for the younger children, they're expected to be sitting at desks, which is not an easy task if you're asking them to do that all day. I also think that not just the staff, but I also think that the parents, I think one concern would be lunchtime, which makes everything very difficult to manage with social distancing, safety, provision for meals and things like that. So this takes out lunchtime just for now. This means that there is no lunchtime provision. However, we are catering, and we have got a catering team in, and we can make sandwiches for children who need free school meals. So that will be arranged and taken care of, and they can either take those home. They can take those home, or they can pick them up. Um, but what that would mean is that if you are going to take up that offer and you're currently in receipt of vouchers, the vouchers would stop and you'd have to do that. I think to start with, my recommendation would be that you have your meals at home, you get your child into school, and they can do a little bit of time in school. They can see other people, and we're going to do some very light touch, what we call a curriculum which is sort of designed really for the children just to come back and get a bit of a feel for things, really, rather than teach them all of the learning objectives that they would normally do. So we want them to be well, we want them to be productive, we'd like them to be in uniform, but we also appreciate that we don't buy uniform if they've grown out of things. But I would really like it to feel, for their benefit, a little bit like school. The desks will be set out as you've seen on the TV, with the meters, the distances, and the groups. The classes have been set up so that they're in groups of 4. So really low numbers to start with, and that means that we could possibly, as we get a couple of weeks down the road, we could allow for a second phase if anybody wanted to join us. What I would say is that we are going to work with the children who've said that they're going to be attending now, and then we'll open the door again and put things back online. So if anybody else wants to come along, that would be okay. What we can't do is we can't allow children just to turn up on any given day as we move along and come in, because if we go over the ratios, then we need to start thinking about bringing a new teacher in, which is a new classroom, which we have to think about the entrance and exit. Plus, we also have to think about things like cleaning. So just to start with, we are doing the 2 sessions in very small groups. So all children who are attending will be able to attend one or the other sessions. I've asked the teachers to group the children by friendship groups. So that means that when we notify you, which we will do by the end of the week, which group your child is in, they will be with somebody who they can click with and they can get along with. So we tried to do things by friendship group rather than by ability or anything like that. The teachers, the groups themselves, because we've gone for very small groups to begin with to allow ourselves the chance to get bigger if needs be. The teachers that your child will be working with may not be their usual class teacher, so they will be working with another member of staff. But that means that in order to keep the group numbers low, that's the only way we can do it. If we're going to have your class teacher, we could end up with 15 or more in a classroom, which wouldn't work at the current situation. So the best thing we can do is to try and get the groups as small as possible, so they will be with a familiar member of staff, albeit it might not be their class teacher. I've asked to do a little bit of schoolwork throughout the day, as well as some time spent outside. We won't be able to bring PE kits backwards and forwards, but we would like some days for them to be coming in the PE kits and spending time outside. As far as managing safety on site, the guidance that we have, it relates to social distancing and trying to work with children on those things, but the hand washing and so on. So those facilities, all those things will be in the classroom. The cleaners are coming in twice a day, so we can clean at lunch times. The staff can have their lunch, then they can do the second session. Then the cleaners will be cleaning on the morning the day before as well. So that's how it's looking. I would hope that we can get a couple of weeks down the road and start to think about how the numbers could be increased or whether or not it's going to be sustained. Once again, this is a choice. A lot of families have chosen not to take up the offer, which is absolutely fine. I understand it's not the national curriculum, it's not their usual teacher, it is quite different, and there was no way we were ever going to be able to provide the same kind of service that we were doing, back before March. It's an absolutely different thing. So this allows a little bit, hopefully, of this allows a little bit of something that they don't currently have, and that's the only way I can say it. Rather than trying to make sure that everything is absolutely right, I think we have to be cautious. We're not going to get any medals for doing this first. We have to make sure that we tread carefully. So reduced risk, small numbers, the smallest possible, and with your support. So hopefully that's helpful. I'm going to pop this out so that you can have a little look at it. I will put a few little things on the screen, but if your child's coming next week, it will be from Tuesday. And I will be telling you which door they will be coming to, because we're going to be using different doors. Hopefully, well, there will be pretty much a different door for each class, and your start and finish times, which will be different, so we can stagger it and we don't end up with lots of people on site. From a parent's point of view, please social distancing on the yard. Please make sure you adhere to that. Please make sure you don't come anywhere near the classroom, that your child sort of sets off and comes into the class under your supervision, meets the teacher and goes inside. Those are the kind of things that we're going to have to really work together on, just to be able to get some clarity as well. So I will put those things down in black and white so you can see them. But obviously, please be thinking about those things as we move forward. I hope you're really well. I hope the children are well. I hope you're doing okay, whether or not I see you in school or we don't see you in school. I really hope that these next few weeks, you can be safe and well. So take really good care.